We're here with Torrington Titans and Carminucci Group CEO Chris Carminucci.
Nice to see you.
We met here August 14, 2011, after the inaugural season of the Future Collegiate Baseball League, where the Torrington Titans posted a 27-17 record, ended up going to the championship game against Nashua. Game up there, a game here at Houston's Park. A lot has happened since that time last year. The league has exploded from 4 teams to 9 teams. Talk a little bit about what happened last year and everything that's happened so far coming into this year.
Well, first of all, to the naysayers that said we wouldn't be back, they can kiss my butt. Okay, that's first. That's first and foremost. You always gotta say that, because I love the naysayers.
Oh, of course.
Turning them is always a fun thing. Yeah. Everybody said, oh, it'll be one and done. Well, you know what? We're here for the long haul. The biggest thing has been looking at our league in general, and starting with 4 teams last year and saying to ourselves, well, how can we make the 4 teams we had the best that we can be? And I think we did that. We took 4 teams, and we did a great job with all of them. We took care of each and every person that came to the ballpark in every one of our cities. And what did it do? It attracted more and more ownership groups that wanted to come in. We went from 4 before, now we have 9 teams. And we have groups that have come in, like the Gold Clan group, which owns the Hudson Valley Renegades, and now they own the Pittsfield franchise.
Yep. So
that's unbelievable. And we have that great stadium. Now we have Old Orchard Beach, which is a AAA stadium. And former Phillies franchise, which is unbelievable to be there. And when we took our Brockton Rocks from a professional league into this league, simply because we love the business model and we love the people we're in business with. So you look at those 3 franchises, and then you add in the other ones that have come in, and you look at it and you say that we did it simply because the law of attraction was working in our favor. We went out there, we worked our butts off, and good things happened, and people came to it.
And you went from the 4 to the 9. Were a lot of people knocking on the door wanting to come in? I have heard in the past that there's a requirement to get in this league. You're not just going to get in because you like baseball.
Well, I think in the beginning when we said, look, we'll go with 4, and then we'll be really, really specific on the kind of people and ownership groups that we let in, people were like, what are you, nuts? You only have 4 teams, But by doing that, what we did was we weeded out any of the franchises that might not have been, workable in our league, and most importantly, it is all about the ownership groups.
Right.
You need good, solid ownership groups that want to come in and they want to see this thing through for the long haul. This isn't a 1-year project. This isn't a 5-year project. It's a lifetime project. So, I think that's really what we did. We weeded out anybody that we didn't think were fits, and now we're turning people away simply because, we're at 9 and we want stadiums. We want, stadiums like this and better to be able to come in. With minor league baseball not working out so well with the economy, we feel we're going to attract even more.
And it really wasn't all just about deep pockets. It had to be the correct fit.
Yes.
Because sometimes folks might consider a collegiate baseball team a nice toy.
Yep.
You don't want guys that just want trophies.
No, this is a business, and first and foremost, teams that lose money don't last long. Everybody says, oh, I'll lose money for a couple of years, and then, that's okay. That's not true. Nobody wants to lose money, me included. You'll do it because you have your eye on the prize.
Yeah.
But, the prize is to have good ownership groups where this thing is profitable. Nobody's making a killing on this, so what you want to do is take that money that you make and put it right back into it, and build it up for many years to come.
And from last year to this year, Mike O'Malley kind of set your basis. He'd already be out here working on the field. The boy lived here for the longest time. He's moved on from the group. He's actually coaching collegiate baseball now, is he?
No, well, actually, he's out of baseball now. He was at Brown University, and now he's got a real job. He's working and running a golf course up in Massachusetts. And we were very lucky. We got the perfect guy to start this franchise.
Yep.
We knew it would be a 1-year deal with him because he was looking into doing other things. But we had the perfect guy to get us off the ground, get us embedded in the community, and then having Sander come in right behind him. We've had the best of both worlds. We've got we couldn't have been luckier with the 2 hires of the GMs we have. And now Sander can pick up where Mike left off and take it to the next level.
You're talking Sander Stoutman came up here from Texas. If you've ever been to definition of a Sander, folks that might be used to completely political correct have to step back a little bit, but you're not going to leave a meeting with Sander thinking, well, I wonder what he really meant.
You know where he stands.
What he is what, and moving him up here, moving up here to Burville with his family, his wife and the 2 kids. They go to school locally, opening the shop on Water Street all year.
Yep.
I mean, talk about that commitment and how that's helped.
Well, we knew our GM had to be somebody that would come, embed themselves in the community, and become part of it, and stay here for a long, long time. And that was Sander. Sander, came here, like you said, his family here is on just about every board that he can be on. Wearing his cowboy boots in Torrington, you gotta love that. Sander's a chameleon. He fits in just about anywhere because he's an honest, genuine, straightforward, almost the most straightforward person I've ever met.
Right.
And you know where you stand at the end of a conversation
Yeah.
with him, because and he knows what he wants to accomplish here, and that's to create an environment here, a gathering point for the fans, for our sponsors to come.
And he kind of came from a background that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, opening Reliance Stadium, he's run a Super Bowl, he's run I think a Grammys or an Emmy.
Grammys, Emmys, he's done it all,
Yeah.
and from the food and beverage side, from the operational side, and this is not an easy operation here in Torrington. I think some people think, oh, it's a little summer collegiate team and all that. This is a year-round deal where you've got to be working every day. We've got the store up there on Water Street. We've got everything. We've got merchandise in there. It's become more of a Major League Baseball merchandise store as well too, along with the Titan store.
Yeah.
So that was his vision, and his vision is for this to just not only be where it is now, but to keep growing and growing and growing. And in 8 months, what this guy has done with is securing new sponsors, getting our old ones back in. We've gone up 3 times on our season ticket holder base, simply because he is here, he is part of the community, and they want to see this thing survive. And so everybody's jumped on board.
And you also brought in a new manager. Let's talk a little bit about the longest tenured manager here in Torrington Collegiate Baseball, Gregg Hunt.
Gregg Hunt will always be my favorite Titans manager of all time. I mean, he is just a great baseball man, a great person, somebody that loves the community. We knew going into last year that it would probably be a 1-year deal with him as well too. We actually begged him. I begged him to please come for a year because we needed him, and he did it for the sake of the community. And he's such a good person. And at the end of the year, it was time for him to to do some other things and follow some other dreams that he had. And we back him 100%. And that's why we have him on our Titans baseball board. We rely on him for player movement, and anything we need from a baseball standpoint, we call him. We ask his opinion because he's such a fixture here and such a big part of the community.
New manager comes up from Florida, from one of the best high school programs in the country. Misha Morgan, a former minor league catcher near and dear to your heart. I'm thinking that's where that might have come from. But talk a little bit about Misha and what it's going to bring for you.
Well, I've known Misha since he's been 21 years old. He was my catcher in the minor leagues. He was basically my catcher every inning of every game for 2 straight years. 1 year in St. Joe, Missouri in the American Association, and then 1 year in Atlantic City in the Can-Am League. And you won't find a harder working guy. You won't find a better baseball person in general. Like I said, he lives in Florida, works with a ton of the top prospects in the nation, has great college ties as well too. He wanted this job. He wanted to try something new and have his own program to run. And I couldn't think of anyone better to step in for Gregg Hunt than him, just simply because of the kind of person he is. Because you got to be more than just a good baseball man to work with these guys.
Sure.
You got to be a good person. You've got to teach these guys the right way to play the game, the right way to live your life. And that's where he's at in his life. He's married, he's just got a nice young family. He's really just a good all-around person and a great addition for us.
And a guy that's not that far removed, I think 2008 from minor league baseball, he's going to kind of know what it's going to take stepwise. What do you have to do to get to that next level? How do you have to behave? And part of that is what we're even seeing with batting practice this year, where they're not going to just come in the regular cutoffs and the rest of it, go out there and heck, they're going to look the role. Because in order to assume the role, you got to look the role first, and he seems like he's bringing that to the table also.
He teaches them how to be professionals before they are, and how to look the part, how to act the part. So when these guys, hopefully sign their big bonuses and they go to the Yankees or the Mets or the Red Sox or somebody, they know how to act. They know how to talk. They know how to treat a fan. And those are all the things that we want here. We should be a stepping stone for those guys going to the major leagues one day, and that's what he brings to the table. He can teach that.
We brought another person to the table that used to hit a couple of home runs here and there. Cecil Fielder was up for the first annual card and memorabilia show at the Armory, and I had the privilege of taking the Beast, your vehicle, down to New York City. We won't talk about the Beast. It's an RIP situation now. And what a guy! And what a guy to have on your advisory board. I mean, it looks good. I mean, boy, he's trimmed out. He's still huge up top and the rest. But his baseball stories are amazing. Actually, listening to his son on the radio and him sitting next to me, I said, okay, this is never going to happen. And I asked him the one question, Chris, and this was serious. I said, no Fielder to the Mets. Why? He just shook his head. He said, you're on the wrong side of town. That was it. Conversation was over on that one. But talk about what he brings to your group, having a guy with that, and a guy like Billy also.
Both Pete and Cecil are longtime friends of mine, and guys that I've hired for different jobs when I was a GM early on, and then president of a team. I hired both of those guys to manage our clubs, and he is just you talk about a baseball man, through and through a baseball man. He's got stories on top of his stories, and and all of them tend to teach a lesson to these young kids.
Right.
And that's why having him is so important, because we have things we need, we have the questions to ask, and to bounce those things off of him. I mean, I call him all the time, answers the phone right away. Hey, how can I help? What can I do? couldn't wait to come up here. And he ended up knowing some people from the area, somebody that was his radio guy.
And he got his 50th ball. A guy from Thomas in Connecticut being the one that was in the task force, his 50th home run. And he was not shy when he called into our radio program on APJ about talking about steroids.
Yep.
He was not a happy camper. But all those guys went flying by him when he was one of the first to get to 50. He did it the old-fashioned way. He was never really included in that group that you saw, but he definitely had some opinions on let's do this game the right way. And he's watching some players this year who he also says, you're not hitting many home runs, so maybe the tests are kind of helping. That's kind of how you want this game played for these kids you bring up anyway. Do it the straight way, earn it.
Do it the straight way, earn it. The only thing you could ever get on Sess about is that he ate too much steak and potatoes and all that stuff. That's what, I mean, like you said, he's stripped down a lot since his play days. But and for a big man, he could also run and do all the things that But you're right. He feels cheated in a way because the steroid guys passed him by and he wasn't going to put that stuff in his body. Right. He went out there every day and he worked hard. And he led the league in RBIs 3 years in a row, and 50 home runs.
3 years,
won a championship. With the Yankees, and you look at that, Joe Torre, Satino Martinez, okay, the beloved Yankee, to play Cecil Fielder. What does he do? He goes out there with a game-winning double or whatever it was at the time. So those are the kind of people we want to be around, and the kind of people